5, 4, 3, and 1.
And live from the studio of Ryan Barton Productions, it is a show about a show starring Jordan Owens, Dutch McAllister, and of course, the aviator himself, Ryan B. Dizzle.
This week's episode, Yum, Liam Neeson. Unless I change the title in editing.
Yeah, and if you change the title in editing, boy, I have a certain set of skills. By gum, I have a certain set of skills.
Yeah, not to steal the joke from Cold Pursuit, and I'm very good at Yelp.
Yeah.
I will get on that Yelp and give you a 1 star.
And we will discuss Liam Neeson's future, great movie. It's going to be a classic. I think it's going to be a cult classic.
Hold on. Don't jump the gun, because I think we got some fireworks.
What? Oh, and
Sweet. I don't think the camera got it at all, but all right.
That's good enough. I like it. I like a little pyrotechnics. It gets the old juices pumping.
We got a pretty big stack show today, as we always do. Dutch, what we got today?
Well, what we're going to do is today we're going over our top 5 comedies. All of us are pulling together, trying to come
Schindler's List be? Just stay tuned to find out.
It's got to be in at least the top 3 for one of you. We also have Deja Vu, the movie Assignment.
Deja Vu.
Absolutely, Deja Vu, 2001 February movie. By the way, it's about as thin as this February. So every February,
I have 3 choices in case you guys say my choices. So I have 3 that I'm kind of interested in.
Well, I have a backup plan, but none of them are worth watching.
I swear to God, if either one of you say Monkey Bone, I'm not watching Monkey Bone again.
You
Do
better.
not make
I'm
me.
sorry.
I've tried twice in my life.
Why are you going to ruin it for everybody here? Right? It could have been one of our big reveals. Also, we're going to come up with a full review for Cold Pursuit, Lego Movie 2. Ryan and I are going to talk a little bit about the Murmurations, the Well Penny's new album, and
I might talk some Demi Lovato.
You know what? We're gonna we'll talk about what we're gonna talk about later. We'll talk about Demi Lovato under your deal.
I was saying, you mentioned the Murmurations. I'm not allowed to mention Demi Lovato.
Well, no. I didn't know if there was a news story coming up because I heard she was in the news recently.
We're talking about release.
Well,
she had a new album, right?
No, it was Grande.
I listened to an old Demi Lovato record on the way up here. Then,
well, you can talk about that if you wish.
So never mind.
But no, next week I
get those two mixed up.
We'll have at least a week to listen to the Ariana Grande.
Because I have an old Demi Lovato,
album that she dropped, which I hear has good reviews. I don't know. We're gonna have to listen to it.
I like the Demi Lovato CD.
I don't think she's actually in a good place right now to actually make music. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Who? Which one?
What's her name? Lovato.
Oh,
okay. And basically that's what we're gonna do, and then maybe talk about what's coming up for next week as well. So the first off, we're gonna actually just go right with it, and I have Ryan. Ryan, you have at least 5 movies. We're gonna start with the 5th one with you, and we're gonna go around and just do round robin on that one. So what do you got for number 5 of your top 5?
Number 5 has switched a couple of times for me, but I'm going to put it in at Home Alone.
Home Alone.
Okay.
That's
and I do seem to watch it multiple times.
Yeah, you were saying last week it's a pretty constant Christmas movie for you.
Every year around Christmas, I got to watch Home Alone. I love it. I love the yells and the screams. Yeah,
and I think
the spider. I love the spider's role.
I think a sign of a good comedy is one that you can watch over and over and find it funny every single time. And some of those movies, I want to talk about another category later that we could we'll probably cover. And some of them are always borderline. You could always move comedies in different realms, but I tried to stay with mostly comedy this time. So, Jordan, what do you got for yours, number 5?
All right, so first I want to do some honorable mentions because I got to. I love honorable mentions. Stuff that didn't quite make it, although just catch me on a different day, maybe would make it. Old school, Some Like It Hot. I think I even referenced the last joke to you the other day. I just love that movie. Jack Lemmon, a national treasure. I thought 40-Year-Old Virgin is worth mentioning. There's something about Mary, Liar Liar, and also a couple of Will Ferrell movies that didn't quite make it, like Anchorman and Step Brothers. I absolutely love. For my list anyway, maybe we'll agree on this, Dutch. I don't know. I know we've talked about it before. Our love for Tommy Boy. That's where I'm coming at number 5. It might even be higher for you. I don't know.
It's going to be higher.
It is higher for you.
It's on my list. It is higher.
Tommy Boy.
That's a movie, man. It's again, just like we said before, it's rewatchability. Catch Me on Any Day. I love it. I saw a couple years ago, I was at Walmart. They were actually still selling notebooks and like merchandise for Tommy Boy.
Brother,
this is a 1995 movie, and in 2017 they had merchandise for it. So
and I own the Funko Pops. So they came out with Funko Pops. I own them all. I love them all.
To this day, I can't put on a jacket or a sweater that's too tight without someone saying "fat guy" in a little coat.
I can't even help it for saying it myself. That's what I love. The movie is just so quotable.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Do you know where the gym is? That's classic. I just
so charming, man. Just Chris Farley, obviously one of those guys that just. I even said this before on the podcast. Just you really kind of sadly wonder like how much more we could have gotten out of this guy because we didn't really get enough before he sadly passed away. Because it's just the way he just eats up the scenes. Like this is a script and a movie that I feel like under different hands or actors, I don't know if it would be a top 5. I don't necessarily think so.
No,
but it's because of Chris Farley and even David Spade, who's probably at his peak here. Is why it becomes a top 5 movie. So definitely Tommy Boy is in my heart forever.
And of course, I will chat a little bit more about that movie as we move along. My number 5, I'm going to bring it back, brother. When I say flashing back, we're going all the way back.
Ooh, Charles Chaplin.
Oh, we're there, buddy. 1926, The General with Buster Keaton. If that.
Oh, I was joking. You really want to?
I am so serious. I watched that on occasion. You can actually get it on demand, for 99 cents, I believe, on Amazon. But to me, that film, it's just pure genius. It's about a guy whose girlfriend is kidnapped by the Union, and he's trying to get her back by hook or by crook. And it's just about all the shenanigans that take place. He's a Confederate soldier. He's trying to get it, and of course, the train is the key in the whole bunch of shenanigans. And like I said, Buster Keaton, one of my favorite old school guys of all times. He makes me laugh. The Navigator, if you want to say that one, you could put them both together, and they're right up there together with me.
I've seen none of these.
Well,
so would you recommend it to someone like?
Absolutely. If you've not watched a lot of older comedies, silent movie era, I don't know. You watched a few of those yourself, Little Tramp and stuff like that. Chaplin, the Tramp. Absolutely, and you have Buster Keaton, Fatty Arbuckle, another great comedic actor of that time. He got sidetracked through false allegations, but that's another day.
Allegedly,
yeah, and he was acquitted of those allegations, but and he never got his career back on. But the boys in the that he grew out with, Buster Keaton, Chaplin. They kind of threw him a bone here and there just to get him going. And even Buster Keaton was in a mad world in the 60s. So he hung around, man. He hung around for a long time.
I've heard that name.
So that's my number 5. Number 4, what do you got for me?
It's back to me.
Yeah.
R.D. Bizzle, Show About Show Televizzle. You're watching R.D. Bizzle and the Show About Shows Televizzle. We're here in the Stu Dizzle. All right.
For shizzle.
All right, here we go. The Big Lebowski.
Okay.
To be my number 4.
Unbelievable movie. I'm with you. What do you like about it?
I like everything. What do I like about it? I like the dude. The dude is just too cool. I was the dude for Halloween.
I feel like you're still trying to be the dude. Like I see you as that kind of like. I feel like that character might have been written after you. Yeah,
I'm forever trying to be the dude.
If you can be the dude, I suggest you try to be the dude if you can be.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Because the dude abides.
I'm forever trying to be the dude.
Were either one of you upset at the Super Bowl? Like some people thought it might have been an actual sequel.
No, I wasn't. I heard about it coming into the Super Bowl, but commercial was very smart. I thought it was fabulous. If we had Kate, you had.
All right.
This is a picture of you as a dude?
Yes.
You gotta show that to a camera.
I'll show it to a camera here.
Yeah, dude abides, man. Dude abides. Yeah, you can't see it from here, but
Yeah, show
Hold on, we're gonna-
this up to a camera. Here, you got to. Oh yeah, let me see it first. Oh wow.
Yes.
That's me.
Is she
That's a
also the
friend of
dude?
mine. Yeah, she's the dude too. She's better actually. She's got the actual milk carton and everything.
Yeah, show my camera right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, right there.
It's the best camera anyway. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Here is.
Is it coming out right? I don't know.
Yes.
There you go.
If I
As
hold-
B Dizzle as the dude.
if I hold
If it frames up nicely,
It still looks good from where I'm sitting.
does it?
Yeah, it looks good.
There we go.
There you go.
There we go. B Dizzle as the dude.
Oh shoot! There. Look, I'm gonna do some shameless promoting right there. And if you want to connect with the dude on Instagram, it's rdb_interlink INNERLYNK. A show about shows.
There you
All
go.
What is this? Are we all shameless pluggers in this
Yes.
place? Well, speaking
We're
of
three
plugs,
dudes that have a podcast. So,
yeah, we have a 4. We have a 4 for Jordan.
well,
What-
actually, for my number 4, I say we should crank this thing up to 11 and go with This Is Spinal Tap.
This is Spinal Tap.
Oh yeah.
I love almost all the Christopher Guest
I
movies
almost forgot about that one.
in
But-
general.
But isn't 10 okay? 10 is, yeah, but they,
No, no.
it's 11.
Yeah.
Why don't you just make 10?
louder.
He goes into that whole thing, and then he goes, but this one goes to 11.
Yes.
When there was that pause, and I'm like, let's see if he gets it, let's see if he gets it. And then he goes, but this one goes to 11.
Yeah.
I probably made one of the biggest laughs in movie history that I've ever made when I sat there and watched that.
No, the whole thing's classic. Fantastic eclectic cast here. It's the first of the Christopher Guest movies. This one's directed by Rob Reiner, right?
Correct.
Yeah. And I like a lot of them really in general. Like I have the Best in Show. I even really enjoyed Mighty Wind, so on and so forth. But yeah, this is the first one. Just so funny, man. Another movie that really holds up. It's from late 70s, right?
Yep.
Early 80s. So definitely worth checking out. I love this kind of concept of a movie. Even a couple years ago, we saw Pop Star, which I really enjoyed, with one of the guys from Lonely Island, Andy Samberg, in almost a different, more updated vein, more kind of raunchy. But like this is the first kind of that satirical kind of mockumentary style that we've seen now done so well with both from guests and others.
Absolutely. You summed it up perfectly right there, Matt. Because I watch it and it just makes me roll every time. So it's like you catch little nuances too. Each character has something that you didn't catch before, and that's what I love about it. A good comedy, and you can see people's wheels turning, especially Best in Show.
It's also good point. You also there's a good rewatch on top of the fact that you see different things sometimes too.
Yeah, and that's what the deja vu's about when we get back to
Deja
Ozzy
vu.
Osbourne was on David Letterman or something around that time frame after that movie came out or whatever, and everybody goes and as Ozzy, everybody's saying I have to see this movie. It's the greatest comedy ever. And he goes, and let me tell you something. I wasn't laughing. He goes, this shit really happens. He goes, can I tell you how many times we walked all over downstairs. We could never find the stage.
No, look, I love that scene.
Yeah. He goes, it really happens.
my number 4 comes in from 1985. Volunteers with Tom Hanks and John Candy. I'm Tom Tuttle from Tacoma, Washington. That's John Candy. And it's about Tom Hanks. He owes these gamblers cash. Hops on the first plane. Happens to be the Peace Corps. Rita Wilson's there as well, his future wife. And Tom is there. He means so well. But then he winds up getting brainwashed by the communists. And it's just a great satire of the times. Showing that greed isn't always great, but it's also fun to see somebody who's on the run, have a little heart at the end, because Tom Hanks' character is not that lovable in the beginning, but Tom Tuttle from Tacoma, Washington is.
I've never heard someone talk about this movie in such a loving way. I might have to actually see this. I love Tom
I'll let you
Hanks.
borrow it. I have it.
All right, good. Just like Goonies, I will not return it.
Yeah, that's true.
So I absolutely love Tom Hanks. One of my favorites of all times. If I could be a human, I would be Tom Hanks. And I love John Candy. So yeah, I've never gone around to this. I always felt like a lot of people kind of gave it middling reviews, but something that really kind of touched you.
Yeah, to me, that movie, there's a lot of heart in it. And there's a lot of it's just a good pure movie. And yeah, the rate, if you ever look at say a Rotten Tomatoes, I'm not sure what it is there. It's probably like a 26. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's higher.
It could be higher, but I'm just saying a lot of people
58 for critics and 33% for audience.
yeah, and again, 30 something percent is probably the most young audience. But you got to open up about the time and the year that it was made and what year it was set in as well, because this is back in the 60s when they're in college and the world's ahead of them, and some did it for purity and some didn't, and you find. Like I said, it's just a good movie, and it's just fun to watch. So, Tom Hanks, brilliant at
Forrest
anything
Gump
he's
is
ever
my
done.
Favorite movie of all time.
Yeah,
Who doesn't love Tom Hanks?
I don't know. Who doesn't? We're gonna have to find that out,
If
aren't
you're
we?
watching this pod and you don't like Tom Hanks, cut to me, Bizzle. Get off this podcast right now.
No. I don't want you to get off this podcast. I want you to watch the whole
No.
thing. Then I want you to like it. Then I want you to actually click in the comments and tell us why you don't like
If you
Tom
don't like
Hanks.
Tom Hanks, continue to watch. Get us a view. Hit like, subscribe. But secretly, we don't like you.
No, I don't mind. I'll take anybody at this point.
I'll still take you as a viewer. I don't like you. Tom Hanks is God.
Oh, so now we're in the top three comedies, and again, comedies are subjective, man. They go up and down, in your mood. But so you can interchange all top three if you need to. But top three, what's your number three, man?
Is The Breakfast Club considered a comedy?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Well,
coming
The
of age
Breakfast Club. I didn't
comedy.
know whether you would consider it one because I was going to either, if it wasn't, then I was going to put Raising Arizona in there.
That's
I think
another.
I think you could argue, just like Breakfast Club, Raising Arizona, even kind of, like a lot of these can battle both genres. So yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, and I'll be honest. Comedies, like I said, there. If you were to really look at a lot of other ones, I could probably stack it all with rom-coms because I love rom-coms, and the '80s were full of rom-coms that were so great. Even
Except
older.
for when Harry Met Sally, I couldn't think of any.
Really?
That would crack my top 5. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's going to be one of our lists one day. Rom-coms, because
Now you know I'm probably number 1.
There you go. Now you know.
That
your
is
number
a good list.
Yeah, because rom-coms,
That is a good
and then so many of those comedies could be considered rom-coms or vice versa. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. So yours could be considered a rom-com, could be considered a dramedy,
Right.
Comedy drama?
a comedy drama.
Drama comedy?
So, but yeah, no, I agree.
Let's,
though,
let's talk about
100%.
Breakfast Club. Because what sparks to your heart about the Club of
Breakfast
Breakfast? Yeah.
I had that on VHS tape. It's probably the movie that I've watched the most in my life. Man, I know it word for word all the way through. I love it. I love all of their scenes. I like the coming of age. I love everything about it.
What about that scene where it's almost heartbreaking?
Don't you forget about me. Now, Jackson
That's how it ends, right?
Yeah, Jackson Brown. I
can't do that for too long. That hurts my shoulder.
Yeah, he's coming to town.
No, is it?
Who?
Jackson Brown.
Who?
Isn't that a Jackson Brown song?
Oh, okay.
No, I thought it was Tears for Fears, but
Yeah, Tears for Fears.
yeah, that's all right.
Unless they redid it.
No, who knows anymore? But
It's
is it Tears for Fears? Or it
Tears
could
for
be
Fears-
somebody else.
What? Tears for Fears.
Is the other song that's
Oh.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Yes.
There's another one that I could have put on my list.
Yeah, I've already, since we've been talking, I already thought of one that I'm like, how is this not in my top 5?
Well, that's how that works. I mean, there's a lot of great movies that are not on your top 5.
Yeah.
But again, it's subjective. It's what I call comedies in your top 5 are generally your comfort food.
Yeah.
Ones that you just say, you know what, that makes me feel good when I watch it.
It
I don't
strikes
care.
me, man, yeah.
And but the Breakfast Club. I think there's a scene where you find out why Emilio Estevez is put in there, and it
Emilio!
goes, and it breaks your
Simple
heart.
Minds.
Simple Minds. See, we're all wrong. You didn't even venture a guess, sir.
I did. I agreed with you.
Oh, you did? Okay, so yeah, okay. you're
Tears
right.
for Fears did a version then because I've seen it. Like,
I don't know. It's possible. I'm not going to go off and say no. But yeah, you just get on there and you get on your Twitter machine or whatever it is you do, and Google machine, and go at it. But no, there's a scene with in Breakfast Club
Yeah.
with
spoilers.
Emilio Estevez where he talks about the pressures that he's put under, and how he got put in there. Duct taping that child, the kids' butt cheeks together, and how he, he felt real bad about it, and because he's being forced. Yeah, you're not supposed to feel bad for him 100%, but you do feel bad. I mean, everyone who's in that area, and it even tackled school violence, bullying, guns in the school. Remember with Anthony Michael Hall's character bringing a gun into school. A lot of forethought went into that show, but and now you see some of the relevance today of these kids are still the same. I mean, they still have the same troubles that we all have. I'm kind of made it now turn into a drama show, but it was still, there's a lot of great comedy to be had in that show. And I'm with you on that, brother.
Favorite coming of age film.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you on that a lot. Mr. Jordan, what do you got for number 3?
So this one was kind of tough, actually. This one and the first one, because I didn't want to do a lot of repeats of the same people. So I had to decide, and a lot of people may go with the prior movie from this group, but this one is the one that I just felt really kind of connected, both directing-wise and cast-wise, which is Hot Fuzz. I absolutely love the Cornetto trilogy, I think is what it's called, between Edgar Wright, Simon Pegg, who I'm absolutely in love with, and Nick Frost, who's always a lovely, part of the collaboration too whenever he's around. And I just loved Hot Fuzz from beginning to end. It's directed with such a fierce style. It zips and zags so much. It's not even a short movie. Like, I believe it's like 2.5 hours maybe, if not longer. Yeah. But it's still like, you just love this kind of story. It's graphic, it's funny, it takes twists and turns that you don't quite see coming. But again, you could definitely argue that it's an action comedy, but like it's definitely super funny though from these guys. Yeah. And the other movie, of course, is Shaun of the Dead.
That's my favorite out of the two.
Yeah, and a lot of people probably would put Shaun. I'll put Hot Fuzz. Maybe because I was slightly older when I saw it, so I actually dug the comedy styling even more than when I first saw Shaun of the Dead. So I'm gonna give it a Hot Fuzz. I just absolutely love. Give me Simon Pegg any day of the week.
And he to me, Simon Pegg, comedic genius. He's writing, he's crisp, and it's just his delivery also works. And we've seen this in Mission Impossibles. We've seen this in all the other movies that he's been in. And to me, he's just he's a talent that we've seen his writing with the Star Treks that came out, the reboots. And I find Simon Pegg to be a great talent. I want to see a sequel to Shaun of the Dead. If we could ever get that, I would be so appreciative.
Where though? See, here's my trepidation with that is, where do you go for a sequel though? What do you mean? Like, what would you do?
I don't know.
Was it kind of done with, and like zombies are just chilling and playing video games at the end there?
Well, pretty much. But I want to see more. That's just who I am. I just want to see more. That's how it works. Let it be done. Is there a studio out there who actually wants to do this? Is it Universal? I'm
sure there's studios that want to do, but would Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg want to do it?
I think they would. There's money involved.
I don't think they would be.
You could compromise your principles for a day. Okay, number 3. I got to tell you, I tried to, as you say, vary your actors or vary whatever you can as much as possible in your mind, but I can't. Number 3, The Great Outdoors. Every single time I watch that movie, makes me laugh. 1987, Dan Aykroyd, John Candy. It seems like I don't get out of the 80s that often.
I was going to say, you got a whole nother decade perspective than I do.
But John Candy, and his family go on a holiday. Dan Aykroyd surprises them, and wackiness then ensues. And I love the, I think it was the 90s Sixer, where he was trying to get, where he's eating the steak. And, here John Candy is eating this steak, and he goes, "Okay, I'm done." And the guy in the whole place goes, "You ain't done." He goes, "What are you talking about?" There's, Dan Aykroyd comes in, he goes, "What are you talking about? There's nothing but a lot of fat and gristle on that plate." And he goes, and he just looks at him. He just, and he's like, "Okay, if I can get that down him and a couple desserts, we throw in a couple hats for the kids." Next thing you know, they come out, and he's like, "Oh, I did it." John Candy is all delirious from eating all that fat to 2 desserts. And, he's got I survived the 96er. The kids are coming out with hats. To me, that's just a great scene.
Do you own this movie?
Yes, I do.
Can I borrow this movie too?
You can borrow it and never give it back, I guess.
Never seen it.
You've never seen this movie.
Never seen this. Never
It
been high
is-
on the list too. I don't think.
Really, it's just a great family. Again, another great family comedy. You have even Annette Bening's in it, if I'm not mistaken. Plays the wife of Dan Aykroyd, and I'm not going to ruin it because you haven't seen it. But that was just one of the
Spoilers.
scenes. There's a numerous scenes, and it could be a little young romance as well for these young kids that are inside the who play their children. I think Chris Young is one of the actors that is part of that. That's like PCU. Did you ever watch PCU, the show,
Nope.
the movie? Okay, well, good luck to you on that then. But now we're at the number 2. We're getting very to the top.
The tippity top. You Dizzle, start off with your number dose.
I'm gonna do a flip flop here.
Oh, he's slipping.
My number 2 is Superbad.
Okay, this was an honorable mention. Yeah, definitely. I like it a lot.
I love Superbad. I just love it. I love it. It even, I mean, I guess the part that I even love about it might not have to do with the comedy. I love it's just kind of the same thing with the Breakfast Club, but I do love how they all, the closeness of it. They're all going off to college and stuff. I really like the movie.
Yeah, and I think the scene where I think Sarah, is it Sarah or is it maybe it might have been Hill.
Michael Cera, Jonah Hill.
What I'm saying is when they're dancing and the girl's humping his
Oh,
leg.
it's Michael Cera.
Michael
No,
Cera,
Jonah Hill.
It's Jonah Hill, and she's humping his leg and leaves the trail, and you're like, oh god, that would be
Carla Gallo.
yeah, and to me that was like a great scene in that movie. And there's
There's lots. You got the dicks. I even enjoy the stuff with the cops with Rogan
Yes,
and Bill
yeah.
Hader. I would actually see a spin-off sequel, which is Hader and Rogan as just really shitty cops.
oh
That would be fun, too.
that would be if they're listening, please do this.
Yeah.
You
Come
know?
on, guys.
I loved all the characters. Yeah, I did. I fell in love with Bill Hader there. I McLovin. I liked McLovin.
Yeah.
I mean,
From the opening
Chicka, chicka,
scene,
yeah.
Yeah, when he's following her down that hallway, shaking his head, I loved it.
But McLovin, he wasn't really in it that much, was he? If I'm not mistaken, I listened to them.
He's in it.
Is he all the way through? I mean,
Yeah.
okay, because I don't
Because then
remember
it
that
goes
character,
off,
but
he's
maybe
with
for a
Hader-
brief little bit.
He's with Hader and Rogan.
I only.
He was
Oh, is he in the back seat all the time? Okay, I didn't pay attention to him in the back seat. It was the other
You need
two.
to
that-
rewatch Superbad.
I do. I do need to watch.
I'll let you borrow Superbad. Give me great outdoors.
so good.
But yeah, I've only watched that movie maybe once. and-
Really? No, that's another one.
so
that's,
it's not.
likable.
It's
You
not.
watch
It's
again.
probably in the top somewhere, but not.
It
in
is
the,
not a family movie though, so
It-
don't
it
watch it with
is-
your nieces.
No, no.
Rosie watched it. I wanted her to see it too. She goes, "That's a guy movie. That's a guy movie. That
Kinda.
wouldn't happen. No girl's gonna have her period on some guy's leg. That wouldn't be,
Never,
I can
never
see
been to
that,
one of
though.
my parties. No, I'm
Period,
kidding.
blood, drawings of dicks, lots of cursings about trying to get laid. Yeah, it kind of is a little bit of a.
It is a guy movie, but I think
And it was also too written by Rogan and his friend. Like literally, the
high
first
school,
draft
yeah.
was from high school. So like that's how long that idea of just like, hey, let's get laid. It's college, almost college. So it literally was an old idea.
I have just thought of another one.
But hold that thought. We'll come back to him. We'll do a wrap up of everything.
I'm gonna give you my honor. Remind me to give you my honor.
Yes, we'll have honorable mention. We got number 2.
My number 2 is going to be, and we mentioned this I think last week when I was reviewing a new Netflix show. Everyone that loves this concept, and you got to give it to the originator, Groundhog Day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Billy Murray. You've seen him many times since, like I said, even on Netflix alone. You can go see a Marlon Wayans movie with the same concept. The new show with Natasha Lyonne, Adam Devine. I think there's a Mindy Project episode like this. You wake up and it's the day from before all over again. And it even gets a little dark at points. There's points where Bill Murray's trying to kill himself. But this is a lovely movie. Again, you can almost throw this in a rom-com to a degree.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which, if you did, it would probably be right up there. And just absolutely love this
But
movie.
okay.
I love the concept, and still not many people are able to have done this concept as well.
The question I have is, how long was he there? He had to have been at least there for like 20 years. I mean, literally 20 years he had to be there because he mastered the piano. He mastered ice sculpting. He mastered so many damn trades. I was like, Jesus Christ, at least one of those trades would have taken me at least a decade. Maybe the piano I would still be shitty at after 10 years, but he's over there playing plastic piano.
That is
You
true.
know?
Like, I'm sure they weren't trying to imply that he was there for that long, but that is true. Like the master piano, that's not
Yeah,
like a week. That's a while. Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought to me, what Ned Ryerson,
Yeah.
Needle Nose Ned, that was just fantastic. and
Stephen Tobolowsky.
absolutely. But yeah, let's get ahead of the weather. Okay, now for number 2, Jordan. What do you got for your number 2?
Groundhog Day, man. It's a really good movie, but wait, what?
Oh, there we go.
Haven't we
Okay.
done this already?
Yeah, we did. Okay, my number 2, we already talked about
Groundhog Day.
Tommy Boy.
Oh, okay. Okay. My 5 is your 2. Or
Absolutely. I'll be honest. This is actually me and my Uncle Mike. We talk about this movie constantly. If we're together, I go. It could be about anything, and he looks over at the table, and there's a burger or something on the table, and he goes, "Is that for me?" I said, "No, Tommy, that's for me." And so you just do that. And the subtle jokes that you get from, she's a 10, when Bo Derek comes out of the water. You get Rob Lowe.
Oh my God, am I dumb for never really getting that till just now? I think
I'm not going to say it. Maybe. I don't know. But
I've never seen the movie, but I know what you're talking about now that you kind of spelled it out. Okay, never mind. Go on.
absolutely. She comes out of the water and she goes, "She's a 10, It's a throwaway line, but it just nails it, because it gives her a nod. I love the do you eat a lot of paint chips as a kid? Bees,
Maniac. Maniac.
Who's your favorite? Your team, the Yankees. Things like that. So it's those little tiny jokes, sophomorish as they are, makes me laugh till this day. And even Dan Aykroyd's in it. Again, Dan Aykroyd is in 3 of my.
Yeah, I think you just like Dan Aykroyd.
Two of my movies so far.
Even Dan Aykroyd wouldn't put his films that high.
And
I also do. Let's always give a shout out to one of my favorite '90s actors, Rob Lowe.
Yeah, and Rob Lowe.
Yeah.
Feel like
The man
Yeah.
seems he's finally looking like his veneer is cracked. You know what I'm saying? He's still
This is a kid.
handsome. He's still handsome, but his veneer is finally cracked from that never aging look. He's finally getting a little bit of gray, or he's finally letting it come out. I'm not sure what's going on with that. So your number 1. What's your number 1, Ryan?
my number 1. Well, now I'm going to bring up my honorable mention.
Honorable mention.
Okay, honorable mentions.
The one that I just thought of was Pineapple Express. I did
Okay.
love Pineapple Express.
I enjoy it. I don't know if it's my favorite, but I enjoy it.
It was well. That's an honorable mention, but and another thing you brought up, Hot Fuzz. That's my girlfriend's one of her favorites.
Yeah, I love
And
it.
I haven't seen it yet.
Get the F out of this
Yes.
podcast now. Definitely check it out. Check it out. I think it's a good, like I said, there's some fun action stuff. There's some fun horrific stuff.
I
But
think-
also super funny.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I was at the Town Center whenever I watched that at the theater.
Some great cameos too.
In that movie, I think there was only like 3 other people in that movie when I watched it in the theater at the time. So I watched it at the theater, 3 people. And that's what I'm saying. There's some comedies, they don't hit right away. They develop over time, and that's what Hot Fuzz has done. It has developed over time, for people, because they're finding Simon Pegg and they want to know more about him. So they do that. But any more honorable mentions that you got?
That's it.
So we need your number 1 now.
Number 1,
My
baby.
number 1. Well, I named my son after a character in this movie, although there was a girl. So with my son being Sloan, it is Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
There you go. There we go.
Love that movie.
That's a good one. That's one I didn't think about too much,
Ferris
but
Bueller's Day
I
Off.
can throw
Yeah.
that as an honorable.
That would be one of my honorable mentions. I actually had it, but then I was like, well, if we were to do rom-coms, I don't know where that would land.
I don't
And
wanna-
again,
Oh yeah.
it could be a
I
it
would
could
not
be-
consider that a rom com.
It can be.
Oh yeah.
Me
because it is.
personally?
Well, Sloan, Ferris and Sloan.
Yeah, but like,
No.
it's not really like they're already together though, right?
Yeah, but they still got a little
I
bit
feel like
of
that's.
here and
I feel
there.
like to me that's such a side part of the movie. I
But
wouldn't
don't
consider it a
forget Sarah
rom-com.
Jessica Parker. She's jealous of her brother before because everyone loves him and she finally finds love with Charlie Sheen. So it was kind of romantic at the end. Remember?
Oh yeah.
That
you
was
know?
Sarah Jessica Parker.
Not Sarah Jessica Parker. It's Jennifer Grey. I apologize.
Oh, okay.
I apologize to everyone out there.
His
it was
future
not,
wife was in that movie.
Yeah,
That's
no,
crazy.
yeah, but it was not Sarah Jessica. It was Jennifer Grey before her nose
She
job.
been around. Where's she been lately?
Ooh, Jennifer
Yeah,
Grey.
Jennifer Grey. She alive?
She's still alive. She's changed her face because she got a nose job.
God.
She was, but no, it was fantastic.
Oh, okay.
It's one of those jobs that you didn't even know who she was. She was on a short-lived comedy on ABC about LA or something, and she was like the next door neighbor, and you're like, "Who are you?" "Oh, I'm Jennifer Grey." no, you're not. You know, because she doesn't look like Jennifer. Pull up Jennifer Grey, look at both of her before and now pictures. Totally different person. And I think I just saw her recently in some other show. I just can't name it off the top of my
What
head.
about Mia Sloan? What's her name? Mia?
I don't think she's in the business anymore.
I don't think so.
I think that was her main business. It's almost like in
Bookstore.
in 16 Candles. It's like 16 Candles with the love interest there.
Jack or Ryan.
Yeah.
Jake Ryan.
Jake Ryan,
Jake Ryan.
his only movie. After that, he left Hollywood, I believe.
Yeah.
And-
Well, a lot of girls are happy about that because he can stay immortal in their head as Jake Ryan.
Yeah, so they never.
Carpenter building furniture up in upstate New York or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I heard. You know, so
Everybody tries to he goes every month somebody tries to come interview me or whatever. He goes, no, I don't want nothing to do with it.
well, maybe he will for us.
That's
No.
right. We got to get him in the chair.
He could become the Medea
Could
chair.
Jake Ryan sit in the Medea? Would you?
What
let
are you
Jake
even
Ry-
talking about? Who's
I
Jake
would-
Ryan?
He's in.
Who's Jake Ryan?
He's in the chair.
Jake Ryan is the guy with the red
In
Porsche
16
and
Candles.
16
Never seen
Candles. You never saw 16
No.
Candles?
You know, he's so young. I forget how young he is. He's the youngster. He's our he's the one that brings us fresh eyes, but and makes us look old at the same time. what's your number one list on this?
Well, all right, hold on here.
Oh.
Who do you like? You thumb through a Jennifer Grey that we need to see, and then I'll pull it up.
Michael Schuthling.
Okay, she was. You know where she was at? She was on that one show on Amazon Prime. God, what was the name? Paul Reiser was her husband. No, Paul Reiser wasn't her husband, but she was in that one movie with him. But yeah, that one right there. I think this is your best before and after photo right there of Jennifer Grey. I mean,
Really?
and of course she was
Ladies
baby.
and gentlemen, we're looking at Jennifer Grey.
She was baby, and
She definitely looks better on the left.
you know, what do you mean on the left? Well, one's older than younger
Young.
and older, but
He
I'm
likes
talking.
them young.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, that sounded bad.
but no, Jennifer Grey. She was in Dirty Dancing as well.
Oh, don't put baby in the corner.
Yeah, don't put baby in the corner.
And yeah, you're right. Michael Schuthling has not acted since 1991.
Absolutely. So he's not done much. He's not done much at all. So what's your number one, Mr. Jordan?
My number one for top 5 comedies to me, to JPO, the man I fell in love with as a child. That sounded weird, but you know what I mean. Adam Sandler. I could go a couple different ways here. I could go Happy Gilmore. I'd go Wedding Singer, but I gotta go to him going through kindergarten through high school in Billy Madison.
I like that.
Oh, it's so quotable. The shampoo is better. No, condition is better. I can do the whole fight right now. Oh, Miss Veronica, so hot. Wants to touch the hiney. Oh, I love the movie, man. It is so funny. If you want to talk about, again, if you want to squeeze in rom-com, you can with him and Bridget Nielsen Wilson. The whole thing is just funny. With the penguin, I used to have the penguin t-shirt. Like, did the penguin put you up to this?
See, I don't know. Yeah, I'm one of the on the outside of that one. I never really care for that one.
Do you
Ah.
like Adam Sandler?
I like some, not all.
What do you like?
Do you like his over the top?
No.
What do you like? What Sandler do you like?
I think the Sandler that I appreciate the most is more like The Wedding Singer, where he's kind of low
It was
key,
right on par then.
but he's kind of on.
Oh, his character itself too.
Yeah, the characters have to be subdued to a point. Even 50, what is it? 50 nights or 50? What is it? 50 dates. That wasn't.
That's
that was.
not nowhere near. I do like that movie.
But it was subdued. You know what I'm saying? He's not like, well, I'm a wacky kind of wacko. You know, I don't give a crap, buddy. Okay, I'm just not up there for that. But
That's funny because I like that, and most people that's a divide. Those things.
Yeah.
But Happy
like
Gilmore
that.
though I
I
did
think
like.
if the movie's good, the movie's good. I do get what you're saying.
But I liked Happy Gilmore. And yeah, that was a little out there, but it was also because I like golf. So it kind of worked
Just
for
a
me.
little tap. A little tap, tap, tap over.
It's all
Why
in the
won't you
hips.
go home? Go to your home.
It's all in the hips.
Yeah.
It's all in the hips, But but my number one. Okay, I haven't left the decade ever. It seems I did leave it once. That was in 1995. So I'm going back again. My favorite movie of all time is, and I watched it again this New Year's, Trading Places from 1983.
Oh, I almost had that on my
Another
five.
Dan Aykroyd film. It's not Dan Aykroyd.
What is it with you and Dan Aykroyd?
It's not Dan Aykroyd. I have a photo with Dan Aykroyd, but no, I'm just saying Dan Aykroyd is good, but it was Eddie Murphy that stole this one, and Don Amici and the whole cast alone. And one of my favorite scenes is when they're in the train and he's out there going, he comes in and he's like. Merry New Year, and they're like, "Oh no, it's Happy New Year," and you're like, "Oh, it's the principal from your favorite film, Breakfast Club," and he comes in, and then all of a sudden Jamie Lee Curtis comes in a little later, and she goes, "Hi, I'm Helga. You help me with my hoop sack," like that. And he goes, "You want for some Swedish meatballs?" He goes, "But you're wearing lederhosen, and you're like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Whatever." So that was a great scene. Also, my favorite was when Don Amici's brother falls on the ground, and this is after they got screwed over, with the orange concentrate, and he's like. Wait a minute, we've been on this board since we founded this, and he's like, what are you talking about? He goes, "Oh, your brother," and he goes, "Turn the machines back on, turn the machines back on." He goes, "Well, your brother just did." He goes, "Him, turn them back on." Those are the great scenes. And again,
Jeffrey Jones.
yeah, Jeffrey Jones is the Don Amici's brother, right? So, and they were both great, and I still do the gentleman's wager that they do, the little bet of $1 because of them. I mean, that whole movie.
Yeah, you've done it to me a couple times.
I've done the dollar bet every time because that movie made that much of an impression on me. And
I was going to say that. I was going to put that in.
and you know what though? Coming to America. Do you remember Coming to America?
Yeah.
A little nod as well. Don Amici and them are down and out.
I have some coming to America news pretty soon.
And we'll be here for it. But Eddie Murphy's character, Prince Akeem, drops the money to Don Amici. Mortimer, we're back in business, and he's, "I'm still not talking to you," and then he sees the big wad of money. So to me, that showed, that was Eddie Murphy showing a hats off to what got him where he was at that time, and hats off to everybody. Trading Places #1 for me.
Yeah, if you're talking Eddie Murphy too, I think some honorable mentions for me: Beverly Hills Cop, Bowfinger. I love those.
Which one? Okay, Beverly Hills Cop 1 or 2?
One.
Really? What about you? Beverly Hills 1 or 2?
I thought they were both great.
I thought-
have to watch them again to give you.
Yeah, I feel like the way you're questioning it, I guess maybe.
Which one's the better one out of the two? Because I thought the sequel was better than the first. For funny, and I think Chris Rock is in the second one too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just for a hot second.
Yeah.
I get $50 for a limo. What is this? Gives him 100. It's like, that's it. That's all I needed.
Yeah, you're parking next to a Rose or something like that. But no, I mean, to me, I think the second one, captured what they were going. The first one was too, but to just sandwich that together, I think the second one kind of got where the first one needed to be. A little bit more
Now,
action.
what do you think is better, Bowfinger 1 or Bowfinger 2?
Is there a second to Bowfinger?
No, so I was just seeing if you
No. I don't like Bowfinger at all, actually. So
you get out of here. Have you seen it much or recently?
I haven't seen it within probably 5 years.
Oh, never mind. I think it's a movie that's grown on me from when I first saw it to when I saw more later.
It's possible that can happen. So guess what segment we're on to now, gentlemen?
Oh, where we at, baby?
Deja vu.
Well, that's my thing, and I do it better. Deja.
Hold on. Real
You
quick.
son of a bitch.
People are happy. Put it on mic.
I get $20 for limo. What the hell is this? My truck. Here's $50. Put it next to the limo.
There you go. Yeah.
All right.
So, yeah.
Love it.
We love that.
Deja vu.
No, it's deja vu. Ooh.
That was beautiful. Give me.
Deja vu.
Deja-
One more time. I screwed up again.
Deja vu.
Oh yeah.
We nailed it on that third one.
Yeah.
Dutch,
yeah.
you made things creepy as always.
As always.
So
but
we are now in the year February of 2001, if I'm not mistaken.
February 2001.
Okay, another way to say it, I suppose. And
Of
so,
course.
if you don't know what deja vu is, we picked a random, well, not a random month because it is February, but a random year going all the way back to how long did we go back?
I think we
40?
went about 50 years or so.
And we got the year 2001.
The random
So let's
number
hear
generator.
it. Dutch, what do you request
You're
me
first
and
on
Beat
the
Dizzle?
list. I have you.
Oh, I gotta go first.
I have you
Oh, so I
first
get
on the
first
list.
pickings?
You got first on the list.
Okay. Hold on. What month and year?
It was February
February
2001.
2001.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me get to my notes here.
But what did you have for us, Mr. Jordan?
All right, so my pick, since I get to go first, I'm going to ask you guys to see a fun comedy movie. We were just talking about comedies. I say you should check out Saving Silverman.
Oh, I saw
I
that.
love that movie.
It's another one that's kind of grown on me, and it's kind of a guilty pleasure of mine. You got Jason Biggs, who just wants to fall in love, and he finds Amanda Peet, who is controlling. And when I say controlling,
Very controlling, yes.
she is super controlling, including making him get butt implants. You got
You got two best
relatively-
friends.
two awesome best friends, and Steve Zahn. I still haven't seen Steve Zahn be as fun since. And Jack Black too. This is when Jack Black was in the top billing. He's like the fourth billing, and he's super awesome in this. Arlie Ermy, R.I.P. is super awesome in this. And then who's the rock star?
I can't remember. I haven't, like I said. Oh, Tom Jones?
Maybe.
Yeah, Tom Jones has to be. If it's not unusual, it's
Not unusual. I mean,
Okay, you know what? I'm going to throw a story out there. I might have told you, but they haven't heard it. Tom Jones and his management and myself had a little argument one night at a concert. I went to take my aunt and uncle to the concert to watch Tom Jones. They've always wanted to watch it, so we went, and I took one photo from a camera. They confiscated that camera, saying, "Sir, we don't allow anybody to take a picture of Tom Jones while he's performing." I said, "Well, what about that lady over there? And what about that gentleman over there?" And they're continuously snapping shots. Well, that's none of your concern. So they took my camera and walked away. I then go out to the front, and Tom Jones's manager comes out, and he goes, "Sorry, sir, we're not gonna." I said, "Okay, here's what you're gonna do. This is at the Beau Rivage in Mississippi." And I go, "What you're going to do is you're going to go backstage and bring me my camera." Okay, this is an older camera, had film in it, and I had to develop. And I was sitting there, I was like, "So you're going to go back, you're going to get my camera that has my film, and you're going to bring it to me." "Oh, sir, we can't do that. We don't do that." I go, "What do you mean you don't do that?" "Oh, no, we already told you can't take pictures." I said, "Okay, here's what you're going to do. You're going to go back there right now. You're going to go ask him right now. Go get that picture." He goes back. "I'm sorry. Mr. Jones says he can't let you have that." And the one thing I did do, and I got very irate. My aunt and uncle are like, "Jim, we'll buy you a new camera. We'll be okay. We'll get you a new camera." I said, "No, it's not the point at this point. I mean, everyone else never got their camera taken. I took one photo and they confiscated my camera." Okay. And the guy goes, "Sir, what do you want to say?" I said, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to contact the National Enquirer, and we're going to find out how Tom Jones treats his fans, because this is exactly what's going to be done if you don't give me my goddamn camera right now. Next thing you know, guy comes out like after about 10 minutes. "Here, sir, here's your camera. Have a good day." I got my camera. So there you go. There's my little Tom Jones story.
And they didn't screw with your
No,
film.
they didn't screw with the film. I still have that very blurry picture anyway. But the point is, I won against the machine.
That was a great Tom Jones story. Just to clarify, though, it was Neil Diamond in Saving Silverman. So
Same difference. They both had the same haircut.
I was thinking of, was it Mars Attacks? Is that what Tom Jones
Money
in?
talks.
Yeah, he
but
was
it
in Mars
can't
Attacks,
sing
wasn't he?
and dance.
Okay, well, next time we'll tell the story again. You don't have to cut it. We'll just keep it in.
No, I'm fine with the story.
I have a Billy Idol story if you want to hear that one day. So we'll talk about that one day as well.
When we talk about Wedding Singer again.
Yeah. So I'm next on
You
the
go
on
next.
the on the Deja Vu 2 for 2. I have. Hold on. I got to find my note here. I believe it's a movie with Kevin Costner. Yes, Kevin Costner, Kurt Russell.
Oh, yeah, this is my third option.
And it is called 3,000 Miles to Graceland.
Huge cast, by the way.
Huge cast. It was a decent movie. It wasn't
I don't remember that.
It
but
wasn't
alright.
the best movie in the world. I'm just saying it was a decent film. Kurt Russell plays Elvis again almost, but even though he's an Elvis impersonator. But this time he plays an Elvis impersonator. And they're going to, I believe it's Vegas, to rob a casino during Elvis.
I've actually, weirdly enough, this is 2001, right? I've
2001,
wanted to
yes, of
see
course.
this since like 2001, and between the reviews and for whatever reason, I've never gotten to it
Yeah.
from beginning to end. So now's I guess a good excuse to finally see the movie co-starring Christian Slater and David Arquette.
And I got to tell you though, this movie, if you haven't seen it, it's more of an action film to a point. It's has a little comedic, not a lot, but I think if you noticed, my last movie was an action type drama film. This one's the same. It's kind of this is what happens in Januaries and Februarys. These type of movies get dropped during this period. That aren't going to do well during the summer. So this is what I choose. Because it was either that or Monkey Bone, and I was verbally threatened, and I was in fear for my life.
You threatened him if you put Monkey Bone in there?
I don't want to watch Monkey Bone.
Very threatened. I fear for my
What's
life.
your choice, B Dizzle? It better not be Monkey Bone.
I guess I'll do Hannibal.
Oh,
Okay.
don't back off just because you're afraid of that man over there.
Stick with Monkey Bone.
You do what you got to do. I have to watch it. You don't have to watch
what would
it.
you prefer?
Here we go. Another one we could do is erotic survivor, but it would.
I brought that movie up too, but I don't think we can get that. And this is a family friendly show, so I don't know if we want to really talk about erotic survivor. Even though I probably
shark
will,
attack.
I'll just watch it for
Creepy
extra
guys.
credit.
Oh god.
But no. Which one do you want to go with? You want to go with Monkey Bone?
Hannibal.
Okay, we're gonna. Julianne Moore, I believe, is in that one, right?
Yeah.
And she takes over the part for.
Oh, I've got a good joke from 2001. The reason Julianne Moore did it in the movie, and not because Jodie Foster did it, was because Julianne Moore read the check while Jodie Foster read the script.
Yes, that's how you're supposed to do it.
Say it one more time here.
The only reason Julianne Moore was replaced Jodie Foster is because Jodie Foster read the script while Julianne Moore just read the check. This week on A Show for Shows.
I think our opening joke was funnier.
That was a late, you get a late cowbell on that.
Yeah. My opening joke. So Bill Cosby drinking fruit punch.
Well, we haven't even done it yet, but I'm just saying,
No, but and the
yeah.
people watching it, we did have to do it. Already.
yeah, we already did it, yeah, of course. But it was funny. It was hilarious.
Oh God. Again, the camera didn't get any of that. It's just us being scared and a loud noise.
Yeah, woo! But okay, so we're gonna recap this. Jordan, you gave me Saving Silverman.
Yes, sir.
You gave me and Ryan Saving Silverman.
Yes, sir.
I gave you guys 3,000 Miles to Graceland,
The sequel to 2,000 Miles to Grayson.
and Ryan, you gave us Hannibal. Starring what's his name? Mr. Cash Grabber himself this year, lately. Anthony Hopkins.
Anthony Hopkins.
Yes, he's on a cash grab tour as well. So, a lot of people are starting to not read any scripts anymore.
Transformers 7.
Yeah, a lot of people aren't reading scripts in Hollywood. They're just going for the cash. So, but now what brings us to is our films that we saw this week.
Film reviews.
Yes, film reviews. Thank you for the film review. Okay,
I thought that was unnecessary.
you know what? I think what you did was unnecessary.
Film review.
What is that? That's we're gonna come up with something. Somebody get a sample somewhere of a film review.
Film review.
Yeah, why is it always sexual in nature with
You're
you,
the
sir?
one that. No,
My God.
just start. The first movie this week, I believe that. B Dizzle, you get to see any movies this week?
Did you see anything?
I have to think about it for a second.
Well, the first one that we saw that is brand new from the theaters was Cold Pursuit, starring Liam Neeson, Laura Dern, amongst others. I dug it, man. I think some people were surprised as to what movie they came into, but I think if you saw the trailer, you saw, okay, this is not necessarily your super typical January, February Liam Neeson movie. There's something a little bit more kind of different, a little bit of a different twist and take, a little more kind of cynical, but in a good way. And I dug it. I think you did too as well.
Absolutely. I thought this film was one of, again, Liam does not shock me in anything he does because he does it so well. Yes, I'm a big...
I was starting to get a little wavering on him though, man. Like I didn't love that train movie.
No, the
I didn't love
Commuter,
the plane movie.
I like
mean,
the Commuter.
It's a perfectly fine, like once and done, forget
Well,
about
yeah,
it kind of movie.
absolutely.
This had a little bit more a bite to the bark.
But Cold Pursuit to me brought in a lot of tongue-in-cheek humor in regards to the casual revenge film. And there's a lot of great scenes. You brought up the Yelp, scene earlier.
Some gangsters walking in, they're gonna threaten this little lady. She goes, "We are very good at Yelp."
Yeah, and then of course, what do you call it? His brother, tells him, you've never killed anybody. He goes, I'm learning how. Basically, he's learning how to kill somebody at this point, and it's a trial and error for Liam. We find that in the very first one that he offs, and to me, the film just goes, toward the end. It just does go to a farcical place, but it is still a fun movie and is well worth the watch.
Definitely brutal. Definitely R rating. Don't bring your kids.
Yeah, and I think Lionsgate kind of lost a little bit from them backing off this movie. They could have actually probably won the box office this week against Lego 2.
Yeah, I'm talking about that pretty soon. Yeah, I believe it's number 3.
Yeah,
in the box office.
And if they would have backed off, I think they could have at least given a good showing for number 2, because they really didn't have a lot of competition, and this could have been the competition between. It was a race between Cold Pursuit, I thought, and Lego Movie 2 of how it was going to go. You saw Lego Movie 2. I did not get a chance to see it. What is your take?
Let's finish up with Cold Pursuit, though. How many snowflakes do you give it out of 5?
I'm going to give this one at least a 3.5.
I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to say 3.5. It's not perfect, but I like the fact that there's a little bit of a different twist on it, a little bit more of, again, I don't know if I want to say cynical or humor too, but like, for instance, there's a revolving, every time someone dies, there's something that happens.
Yes.
And you
actually, don't want to give it away.
It actually gives away a couple of really good laughs as well.
Yeah.
And a lot of people said gave you kind of reminders of Fargo, which I think is fair.
Yeah.
So definitely worth checking out if you like Liam Neeson, if you like kind of a good, just violent revenge tale, but has a little bit of a sense of humor as well.
So we're on to Lego 2. You saw that.
The Lego Movie Part 2, the second part, as they called it. And this is it reminded me of, and I know you disagree with Wreck-It Ralph, but I put it right in there with Wreck-It Ralph and Incredibles. It's not as good as the first one. Obviously, I think partly because we've seen now the shtick. But there's still a lot of laughs here. I really love this character that Chris Pratt is playing. And again, kind of like the first one, I don't want to go into spoilers, the way that they kind of intertwine, I guess you could say, the real world with the Lego world, I thought was, again, very unique and effective. And they found a way to kind of continue it in a slightly different way for the second movie that almost reminded me of kind of Toy Story 3, that it had some actual like really good heart as well. And it keeps you invested for a kid's movie. Like, I was very much kind of invested in how this thing was going to wrap up, which you might not necessarily expect from a kid's movie. Great voice cast again. Will Ferrell's not in this one almost much at all, but you still got Pratt, Banks, you got Tiffany Haddish, more Will Arnett as Batman, which is always a welcome thing. So it's vibrant, it's colorful. It does get a little sad at points. There are definitely times where I was like, some of the kids in the audience were a little worried, but that's because that's what you got to do in a good movie. You got to have a roller coaster of emotions, and I quite enjoyed this one as well. I would say. Not to repeat myself, I'm probably giving it a solid 3.5. Definitely, again, colorful and vibrant. Bring the little ones to it if you have little ones. And some good humor, again, even for the adults that aren't necessarily... It's not vulgar jokes by any means, but definitely jokes that only the adults would get.
Okay, so you heard it here. Cold Pursuit, 3.5 from both of us. Lego Movie 2, the second part, 3.5 as well. So numerous snowflakes are given out today. I hope, so... that's I'll watch it. Lego. I'm gonna probably watch Lego later on this week, so we'll see how that works. But right now, we're gonna review a little bit of the Murmurations album, the Well Pennies. Did you get a chance to listen to that? I believe no. I thought you were supposed to listen to that. So, well, it was last week, but we pushed it over so you could listen to a little bit more. So, we played it, but. Well, I don't really have it queued up.
We also don't necessarily have the legality to play a snippet, so
you can play 12 seconds, but
I like how you just naming numbers.
No,
you can play 6 to 45 seconds of something.
But I don't really have.
You're trying to get sued.
Yeah. How are we gonna get any? How are we gonna get any freaking ratings? If we don't get
Here,
sued,
I'll do a snippet for you. Loving you
no, that's
is easy.
again. We don't have copyright. It's like singing "Happy Birthday." I'm not ready for this.
No, happy birthday. You're allowed to sing now, actually.
That's public domain. Is
Yeah.
it? Yeah, well, I still don't want to sing it. I don't want to get sued by that family. They will sue you still.
Happy
Well, they
birthday.
can't.
They don't care. They'll still do it.
to
Well,
Dutch.
nothing would happen.
They'll do it.
Happy birthday to James Dutch. Happy birthday, you Dutch and Dutchster. Happy birthday.
And by the
to
way,
you.
it's not
I
my- it's
hope you
not my-
die.
It's not my birthday, people.
Oh my god.
I'm just saying. So
Let's we're gonna pull up Dutch's Instagram while we wait.
no, we're where we need to be. So the Well Pennies is a group that I just stumbled across this year, and and they have some great songs. My favorite one would be, let me see here.
Where was this at, you guys? Was that your show?
Oh yeah, me and Dutch were at Ring of Honor on Sunday night in Miami. Great wrestling. Well, you're not on that camera, Ryan, so they're not seeing anything right now. Great independent wrestling company. I mean, I can't even really call them independent now because they actually are backed by a pretty big people. Yeah, we were live. That's actually live on their stream. That was from their video camera. So you can catch us in the corner. When the feed first starts is when you're moving the trash can. That's kind of funny.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
So
That's when it first cuts, and you see you moving the trash can.
So I move the trash in. You got to get stills of that because that's
You want stills of it? Sure.
yeah. I want stills of anything that I'm on camera for. That's how that works. But yeah, but the you know what we'll do? We're gonna scrap this segment for right now.
You're not even gonna review the album?
I gotta
Not even like a 5-second snippet.
Well, I'm trying to find something that like I said, I wasn't really.
We got a
What's the
plan
best
for this.
song?
You dizzle of bizzle.
I was planning it, and then it kind of went apart because I was hoping that we could both talk about it for a little bit.
Let's talk about it.
But you can't right now.
Yeah, you can't talk about anything. And he's
I'm trying to figure. Okay.
Can we talk about it?
Well,
The
did
album.
you listen to the whole album?
Yes, we did. I did.
Okay, so that's what.
Oh, well, then you can review
You
it.
should review it with me
All right,
then.
let's review this.
That's what we're trying to do. That's what That's why you're in it to do it. So give me a second. Let me pull up
Alright.
my notes.
We can't hype this thing up and then leave him hanging.
Well, I think we did that the week before though with the five comedies. And we kind of brushed that under the rug, and no one even noticed. So
welcome to a show about shows where we don't promise
No,
we'll
they
get to
did
whatever we
notice.
say we do.
yeah,
They did notice, James.
They
Did you see those 7,500 dislikes?
Absolutely, because
Like
that's what they
7,000
do.
of those were from people that disagreed. So they did notice. But we did get 150,000 likes.
Because we forgot about it. So
I kind of feel like these two are
Those
so-
people did not like it because we forgot about it. I
Those-
never
those-
thought
those
about
hundred-
that.
those-
Maybe
those-
they did.
Yeah, those 150,000 loved us because we forgot about the five comedies, and the 75,000 thought, well, fuck, they don't care anymore.
I never thought about that.
I think you guys are looking at different channels.
Oh, is that what?
Numbers here. Yeah.
Really?
Actually,
Yeah, I got a feeling that wasn't our video, guys.
No, that was ours.
Okay.
That was our video. That was a Caesar reel, a Sizzler reel.
Caesar reel?
A Sizzler, a teaser reel, a teaser.
That
reel.
was Sizzle reel that I uploaded on the side.
Okay, so let's talk about this album then. If we're gonna do it, we're gonna talk about Murmurations. It's the Wellness Penny's new album. It's actually on their own independent label that they actually left Hollywood, the LA scene. They left everybody and they went out to Des Moines, Iowa, made their own studio, and they're making the movie, the music that they actually want to play. The first song off the album kind of sets the tone. It's called Ooh La La, and I'll let you guys have a little bit of a taste before.
Put the world away. Fight a little longer until you feel okay. 'Cause there's nothing I can do when everything's the matter and there's no one left like you.
And that's just one of the songs. There's Ooh La La, and it's a great harmony bit between the husband and wife of this team. And to me, the album is nothing but it's just a great relaxing album. If you want to turn on an album that's light, airy, and has great lyrics, you'll enjoy it immensely. I know this doesn't sound like a great review of this week, but
We went through it last week, towards the end of the show last week, and I haven't listened to it since then, but I do need to listen to it again.
yeah. So
I think it is great. I mean, I didn't get into the poetry a whole bunch. The
Yeah.
melodies are decent.
Yeah,
I
the-
like them.
if you-
it seems very
I enjoyed that 20-second clip you just played.
well,
heartfelt.
thank you very much. But you know what though, we'll get a little further into it.
Let's hear another good one. Let's give us another 20 seconds for one more song here.
Yeah, hold on a second here.
Give us something good here.
Well, the West
How
one.
long have you been following them? Before?
I just started. I just stumbled across it. I thought let's jump in on them.
Stumbled across it on iTunes. Or
No, I
SoundCloud?
just stumbled across it. I look at what new releases are coming out, and sometimes I just throw a dart, and bam, you just hit one, and you hope. And this is another one.
What's this called?
This is called "If You Were Mine."
If you were
Is she
mine,
the
how sweet, how lovely.
She does the accordion. Mostly her husband Brian Vanderpool, and this is Sarah Vanderpool on lyrics.
She sounds like the lead singer of the Sunday.
If you were mine, how sweet, how lovely.
And that's just one of my favorite ones out of the bunch too.
I like that. It's very easy and simple.
And it's just very fun.
She has a nice voice.
It's a nice Sunday morning album if
She
you
can
really
sing
want
me
to
to
look
sleep.
at it. And
And I love banjos.
and again, and that's probably Brian playing that because he plays a lot of guitar and a lot of percussion. There's a lot of different tones. There's a lot of bass. There's a lot of cello, violas being
Cello?
played. Yeah, little cellos and some others. And I find that the album just is like I said, it's a nice Sunday album. You just want to put on an album that you're just going to wake up to, read the paper in the
Can I listen
background.
to it on a Tuesday though?
You can listen to it. I've
You said
listened
it
to
was a Sunday one.
I've listened to it on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay.
But if you want an easy, slow day, Sundays are the best ways to go about it. But but it's a very good husband and wife team. Like I said, they decided to do their own thing. They left the big cities, and I think if you want to pick it up, Murmurations is a good pick.
Find it at the nearest Sam Goody near you.
You can find it at any online establishment.
Or Tower Records.
Either one. I'm sure they're both open. CD Warehouse,
Or what was the one called in Town Center?
Suncoast,
Specs Music.
Specs.
Yeah, you can go to Specs Music and find
Music.
it.
God.
Jesus. But no, you could find this on any
And
Spotify.
after that, go shop at your nearest Blockbuster, pick up a VHS tape of your favorite movie.
Absolutely, and I know you still subscribe to Netflix DVD. So,
TG1.
No, I stopped.
oh, you finally stopped.
I only did it because Netflix DVDs. Just, by the way, people, Netflix still will ship you the actual DVD.
Right.
They sent me an email saying, "Hey, we missed you. Here's a free month." So I was like, "All right, sure." And I caught up on a couple movies.
I did it until about a year ago.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, it's still, if you
There's
don't
so
go to
many
the
of
theaters, there's a lot of movies that aren't on streaming, and you got to pay, larger price for. So,
Yeah.
it's not a bad idea.
So, but yeah, the Murmurations, pick it up at your local.
How many snowflakes?
I'm going to give this one because we're not going to go out of 5 on this one because music is to me subjectionable for
So are movies.
Well, I know, but music I like 4 because it's just easier.
That's so weird.
I know. Why can't I have my own? You don't even do music.
I do music. I listen to an old Demi Lovato CD on the way up here.
Ah, well, okay. What do you want to give that one? How many snowflakes on that? But I'm going to tell you what, my snowflakes, fine. Well, I'll go V out of 5. I'm going to give this a good 3.5 as well.
Today's a 3.5 show,
Yeah, it's a
everybody.
3.5. That's
Who do you guys like? Name some of your top musical acts
I really
of
don't.
all time.
Vitamin C. She's a random singer from 2001.
No, I know. What was that big song she did?
Graduation or something like that. As we go on, we'll remember
I do not
all
know who
the
that is.
times we've
But you know what? Though,
had
let me,
together.
you
And
know,
as our lives change.
shh,
What were you going to say, James?
quiet.
What were you going to say? I'm sorry.
No,
Come whenever.
no.
We will still be.
The one. You know, if you were to say, what are my go tos? You mean, or you know, what?
Smile's the one I'm thinking of.
Is that the do 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 do? Is that the song? I like.
Oh,
this
I haven't heard that
song.
one in a long time. I have to
Is
listen
that
to
that?
Vitamin
Is
C
that
on
the
way back.
song? Is that?
Smile. I know.
We'll find out in a second because I don't even. Is that it?
Oh my God! Yeah, wow! I haven't heard this song in ages. All right.
So is that the da 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 da?
I don't
Is that
know.
it? I don't know.
I gotta cut it off for a second.
Why?
I am
What?
talking about. We are talking about the album or song "Smile." This is life.
It's so tough.
I have no clue. I've
It ain't
never
easy. Say what you're gonna do
never watched this one.
on your face. Make
Oh,
the
now I
world
know.
a better place.
I've seen her.
Smile on your face. What you gonna do? Say what you gonna do on your face. Make the
Okay, this
world
must be
a
something that you
better
listened to
place.
as a child.
Oh
Because-
yeah, I was like 9,
yeah, because that's the only way.
maybe
I would-
11.
Now, how
She's
many
very-
snowflakes do you give this one?
What, the Vitamin C album?
This song.
7.5
7.5
out of 5.
I'm just gonna abstain from this
You know,
one because
she's-
I have
she's,
no idea.
Naked in Dracula 2000. Very weird. Anywho,
I couldn't answer these things. I don't even.
it was just very weird. Like she's like a pop star, and then like she's naked with Gerard Butler.
No, you know what? Music wise, you asked me a question. Who do I like to listen to the most? I'm gonna be John Prine. John Prine to
I don't
me
even know who that is.
is a fantastic songwriter, a fantastic performer. He's old. He's probably about 70-some years old. But as he gets older, his lyrics get better. I'm into the lyrics. I'm more into the lyrics, not the beats. The words.
So you're not a DJ Khaled guy.
No. I don't even know what that.
Pitbull.
Hey, we sang Pitbull the other night in the car. So yes, I have. Yeah, we sang a few of Pitbulls, or I did anyway. And
Was I awake?
Yes, you were awake. You were awake through the whole ride for Pitbull. You came alive for Pitbull.
I'm a punk rock kind of guy. I like me some Blink-182, The Killers, Motion City soundtrack, Jack's Mannequin, Reliant K.
No, I'm with you on that.
Have you ever been to a Killers concert, Jimmy?
Yeah.
Have I? I believe you and I went to a Killers concert.
To make
one
sure
time.
you remembered.
You
It
guys
was,
suck.
It was fantastic.
I'm
You know, I
sure
was
it
going to
was.
call you when they came back into town, and I forgot.
Well, he doesn't call me anymore.
I do.
Yes.
I do.
He's
but
not a very good friend, Ryan.
I don't.
He's not.
I don't call him that often. You
He
know. I
better
just,
start calling some more, or I'm
Yeah,
gonna give him
yeah.
2 snowflakes.
you know, 2
Yeah.
snowflakes out of 5. Oh hell, I got to work on this.
You do.
But no. I you know what? If I see
Relationships
something,
need love.
we'll see what happens. You know. By the way, did you invite young man to the Ebor show in April with us to watch Evolve Wrestling?
No, I'm going to see if he comes to Fort Myers one. before
Oh,
we
okay. You got to go to
Ybor.
Fort Myers first.
I mean, you can obviously come to Ybor. This is no. You never told me to just now. You just trying to throw me under the bus.
Well, come on.
That's
I'm
what you're
already.
trying
I'm
to
down to
do.
2 snowflakes, you bastard. I
Yeah.
gotta save myself.
1.5.
Damn it! Damn it all! But okay, so next week though, well, I'm going to talk a little bit next week. Then we'll bounce where we need to go.
I got some stuff
Actually,
to say.
let's talk about what's coming up this week in films.
You got it, or
Yeah,
I got it.
I got it right here. I got
Oh,
3
okay.
at least. You can name any more. We got Isn't It Romantic with Rebel Wilson. And by the way, it looks like a total train wreck. Happy Death Day to You 2, or something along those lines. Happy Death Day to You. Yeah, 2, and then you. I don't even, we've talked about this. I don't know about it. Alita Battle Angel. I'm not sure about this one either. It kind of creeps me out with her eyes. So I don't know what movie I'll be watching this week. It'll be kind of tough. A lot of people are telling me just go watch Isn't It Romantic? And I'm like, I don't know. What do you think about what's going on out there this week?
I'm actually not against any of these 4. Happy Day to You. Tree Gilberman discovers that dying over and over again is surprisingly easier than the dangers that lie ahead. So this is obviously a sequel to, again, we mentioned the Groundhog Day theory before. This one with a horror element. It looks like she's going through it again, but now there's maybe multiple killers.
Well,
something
this
like that.
time she's like a tag along. She helps guide these.
Well, yeah, now it's
she's like their
they're
spirit.
going after her friends as well.
Yeah, she's
or
like the
something
spirit
that.
animal. She's the spirit animal for these Happy Death Day 2s. But well,
I would like to see that. I enjoyed the first one a lot. And you haven't seen the first one, right?
no, because they ruined it for me in the preview.
Yeah, whatever. Well, that's I was sorry, James over here, Dutch going. Oh, the trailer to the sequel for a movie I haven't seen in 3 years. Anywho, Alita Battle Angel, deactivated female cyborg is revived but cannot remember anything of her past life and goes on a quest to find out who she is.
Is that a James Cameron film?
James Cameron, I think, is the producer. This is a Robert Rodriguez film.
Oh.
From Spy Kids and Machete and other things like that.
Gotcha.
I was on the fence because this is one that's been pushed back, and it looks very CGI heavy. I've heard
They
nothing but
fixed her
good
eyes.
things.
They fixed her eyes at least. I think they were bigger in the first preview.
Oh, really?
And they kind of narrowed them down a little
Really?
bit. Well, because it freaked the hell out of people, and it's still kind of freaky.
You want to make it look more human?
Correct. Yeah.
Oh.
And
okay.
Mashallah Ali is in it, I believe.
Yeah, Mahershala Ali's in
Mahershala
this.
Ali.
Christoph Waltz, Jennifer Connelly, and in the lead, which is I don't know what you call her, but it's Alita.
Yeah.
I think like Attila the Hun battle leader.
I said Alita or
Rosa
Alta.
Salazar, who's in Bird Box for a brief minute.
Okay.
I've heard nothing but good early reviews for this actually, so my hype for this has actually gone way up because I've heard it's a good, it's a fun new world action movie. Looks like something I'm interested.
Like I said,
in.
I'm not. That's the only one that doesn't really it frightens me because I just don't like the animation, the CGI on it. But I'm more open to that. Did you see the trailer for Isn't It Romantic?
Yep, he's in a romantic. A young woman disenchanted with love mysteriously finds herself trapped inside a romantic comedy. I like the concept because I like anything that's a little meta and like it almost reminded me of there's a really funny show on the CW
But-
called Crazy Ex-Girlfriend.
Yeah, I didn't
So
mind
she
that.
knows she's in the world. I like when she tries to curse it won't let her, which is also a joke on The Good Place.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, man. Rebel Wilson, I like her, but she's definitely someone that's
Okay,
come to the point
I don't
where-
want any of the haters out there to hate me because this is what's going to happen. I talked about this film this afternoon.
1.5 stars for Jimmy.
but here's the deal.
Nobody hates you.
They will after this comment. Now, is it Hollywood's new turn? Okay, we're going to give a female lead, who happens to be a little plump. We're going to give her a lead, but each one, we're going to bang her over the head and make her think she's in a different world, or maybe she looks better because she has a self-conscious ability about herself. I'm talking about the Amy Schumer train wreck of a movie, not train wreck itself, but that other film where she was on the spinning class, hits her head. Then all of a sudden she says, look, I love myself for who I am, where she could have always done that even without hitting herself in the head and getting amnesia. And then you have Rebel Wilson doing the exact same thing, it seems, in this one where she goes face first into a pillar and then wakes up into this alternate reality. And I don't know what kind of message that's sending to the world, but it's something to look at. But it's maybe I'm reading more into this.
I think you are reading more into it. I
to
get what
me,
you're saying.
but to me, it just seems like Hollywood has not figured out what to do with anyone of weight, even male actors who are kind of hefty, along with but females are all of a sudden just out there going, "Oh, let's just maybe try it." And and Rebel Wilson out there saying that she's the very first one in a lead of a romantic comedy. That's BS when it comes down to a lot of things. But isn't it romantic? I don't know. I probably will watch it because this is my kind of movie, romantic comedies. So I'll give it a shot.
I think you are reading into it because I think if you've seen the trailer, and I haven't seen the
I've
movie,
seen
obviously.
the trailer.
If you've seen the trailer, then you'll see that at the beginning of the thing, like her dad like leaves her mom, like she's disenchanted with love. It's not that I think she's down on her own appearance. So yeah, I think you are putting extra.
Well,
I'm putting it into.
I'm adding.
No one else is.
What I'm doing is I'm adding more to it.
Yeah, you
but
are.
the thing is, though, if you look the way she was, she's down on love, but she's also thinking, "Oh, I'll never find love anyway. Who cares? Look at
said
me."
that? Is anyone saying that besides you?
In the trailer, look at her the way she talks about love. And like a couple seconds into that, I think it's after the time where she's a kid talking about one of her moms saying, "Oh, someone new that looks like us, we can't ever find love." Okay, so you tell me where this all of a sudden is going to be a thing for Hollywood where you're going to have that happen, and we're going to accept it. I don't accept that. I think everyone could find love no matter what, and that's here I am on my soapbox about that.
I know a movie that you definitely want to see this weekend.
Then what is it? Give me something.
I believe it's expanding into more theaters, and that is Fighting with My Family, the movie about current WWE star Paige, a former wrestler and his family make a living performing at small venues around the country while his kids dream of joining the WWE.
But that comes out on the 22nd, though.
Is it so? What, limited release this week? More next week?
Yeah. It's like
we'll talk about it next week because I know you've seen that one.
Yeah, the 22nd. I will watch that one. So, but yeah. So that's that. You got news, man. Give me some news. You said something about Coming to America. He has news about Coming to America.
We got some news about Coming to America as well as some other stuff here. Let's see what I got here. First, we got some trailer talk here. I don't know if anyone has seen some of these new trailers. Frozen 2 trailer dropped today, so we can't let it go quite yet. You say that, but yet I'll tell you what. I showed my niece the trailer, and what did she do as soon as the trailer was done? She rewound it and rewatched it again, man. So this thing's gonna make a lot of money. I actually, for some reason, maybe because I never saw the first one, so I don't care. I didn't know this was actually coming out.
Watch the first one.
Well, no, I don't want to. You just made throwing up noises, so why would I want to watch the first one?
Well, it's just my opinion. Again, I could be wrong.
This does seem like but like I'm just saying, like it obviously. It's got a big following. There's a reason. Frozen on Ice is hitting up the Hertz Arena in Fort Myers pretty soon. I know lots of people are going to go to that. Again,
if Olaf were to die in these films, I would probably watch it. I would love to watch the snowman melt and die because that is the most annoying character.
No, he was the best thing about the first one.
Oh dear God, it was not the best thing about the first one, and there was nothing good about the first
just hate
one.
Josh Gad.
I don't hate Josh Gad. I think he's utilized where he needs to be, and very rare and happily for it. But I just don't think that Olaf is bringing anything to the table. Did you get stuck watching? Did you watch Coco?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you watch the 12-minute freaking cartoon with Olaf in the beginning?
No, I saw the DVD. So. No.
Oh, see, there you go. You had the option not to see it. I was forced to watch a 7 to 8 to 12-minute whatever that
don't
was.
Even know.
No, I watched
7,
it.
8, 42.
Well, it has this. When you have a child look at his mom and says, "When is Coco going to begin?" In the middle, it's not even halfway through the Olaf special short they put in the front of it. There's an issue. And then parents were complaining about it, and Disney pulled it. That's how much Olaf is a fantastic thought process on. So don't give me Olaf's the best thing about the damn movie.
If you had said, Jordan, what do you think Dutch will be the most passionate about today? I would not have guessed it was the Frozen 2 trailer. We got a trailer for a movie called Yesterday. Anyone heard or have seen this trailer yet?
I haven't seen. I've heard of it though.
Oh yeah, have you heard about it? So you know what it's about?
Brief. Like I said, I heard that it was coming out. I didn't see it.
Basically, he's a down on his luck musician. He's basically about to be done with music. He gets hit by a car, and again, kind of like I would say like Groundhog Day, but not really. But he wakes up the next morning, and for whatever reason, he decides to sing a Beatles song to make himself feel better. And then everyone looks at him like he's a genius. And for some reason, the Beatles don't exist. So he starts to do these songs, Yesterday, Hey Jude, and people are claiming he's the greatest songwriter of all time, and he starts to use these songs, but, it does look like it's a bit of a dramedy there, because there's a little bit of him knowing in his own self that, he's not really the writer of these songs and whatnot, and, what's it, who's the redhead guy, Ed Sheeran?
You've lost me 100% now. I'm looking at the cast.
He's only in it a little bit, though, but there's a funny part where he goes, listen to me. Instead of "Hey Jude," just hear me out. How about "Hey Dude"?
You've lost me with the cast. I'm sorry. I'm looking at it.
Why? What's the weird hatred for Ed Sheeran?
Kate McKinnon.
Oh, Kate McKinnon's fantastic. That's Saturday Night Live VIP.
I'm sorry, but again, she's one that's to me a one-trick pony.
Oh no, I disagree.
And I don't think anything is fabulous about her.
No, I thought the trailer looked decent though. It looked kind of interesting. So yesterday dropped, and then the trailer for I believe it's kind of a spinoff of Dirt and Rotten Scoundrels with Michael Caine and
The Hustle.
Steve
Yes,
Martin. The Hustle
yeah.
came out with Anne Hathaway and your favorite actress of all time, the Rebel Wilson.
Yeah,
Rebel Wilson.
I wish Hollywood rebel against her. That's what I think.
Hey now, the trailer didn't do a hell of a whole lot for me. I'm hoping it's one of those that are funnier in the whole run. But
like I said,
I just kind of ho hummed my. way
I
throughout the
spoke. We
trailer.
spoke about this earlier. Not you and me, but some other people that I know. And we are living in a generation right now where there's nothing but reboots, no original ideas. So basically, reboots and just retreads and sequels. That's all we're in now. We're in a generation that seems to not have an original idea in their body, or if they do, it gets shat on really quickly by everyone. I just think that reboots and then saying, hey, let's like make another Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, but this time let's use women, or let's do an Overboard, but let's replace the roles. Let's do an Ocean's 8 or whatever it was with Sandra Bullock.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah, Ghostbusters. Let's put women in it. Let's instead of men, and let's forget about the whole thing before that. And so if you start losing your roots, I think they could have the original. Like I said, and you and I talked about the Ghostbusters movie in the past. But I think that it would have been a better movie had they did an homage. Say they were like where they originally thought it was going to go to, like say, an Arizona type place, which they would have been a franchise of the Ghostbusters. And that was one of the thought processes before it came out, was like, maybe it's going to be one of those where they're going to be, and I was like, okay, fine, I'm all in. If you don't completely ignore the original, you can't ignore the original when you do something like a Ghostbusters. To me, you should have a franchise that would have been perfect, and then I could have accepted that a little bit better. And a lot of people are upset that they're coming out with the sequel for Ghostbusters. In 2021, I believe.
Yeah, they just came out with the like super teaser trailer where basically just showed the car
And the proton pack going
but
off.
It's yeah, okay. I already forgot, but yeah, no, it's coming out and it's directed from the original
Ivan
son.
Reitman's son. Yeah,
Jason Reitman's doing it, who has a decent track record, although not with like direct comedies though.
No.
If you think about his track record, it's Juno is definitely a dramedy. Thank You for Smoking, which is like a dramedy. So he's got some good movies under his belt. Also, a couple of not so good ones.
Yeah,
But
again, this picks up at least 30 years after, or 20 or something years after the original, in which I would, like I said, I would have been fine with an all-women's cast if they would have done that instead of pretending that the original Ghostbusters never took place.
My thing at the end of the day, too, is just simply give me a good movie. Like,
Yeah.
I 100% get what you're saying, but I just think at the end of the day,
I
this
gave it a
last
chance.
Ghostbusters just wasn't that well written.
Yeah.
And it was kind of all over the place. Like, you can even tell on, like, the DVD, like, there's an alternate ending, so you kind of tell, like,
Yeah.
they didn't exactly know where they were going.
It was a little lazy, right?
Yeah,
at the end of the day.
it just wasn't that good of a movie. That's why I kind of feel about The Hustle. Like, I don't mind. Like, Anne Hathaway is fantastic.
I like Anne Hathaway.
And Rebel Wilson, like I said, with the right script, I think is also charming and funny.
Possible. I haven't seen one yet, but we'll get
I
there.
like the first Pitch Perfect, and then it really gets drowned from those last two. And like even like other things I don't like I hate Brothers Grimsby, but like I don't hate her per se.
I think she's good in small doses. Is just we'll see if she can carry a film.
We got the BO for this week, the box office. Number 5, Glass, making another 6.4 million. Number 4, The Upside, making 7.2 million. 3, Cold Pursuit in its debut, made 10.8 million. Number 2, What Men Want, made in its debut, made 19 million. And number 1, the Lego Movie Part 2, the second piece, whatever, 18. Well, that can't be right because that's the wrong numbers. But I don't know. Lego Movie number 2 is in the first spot. So there's your box office for the week. A couple updates and some sequels. The Aquaman 2 script is starting to be underway. They're grabbing the same writers from the first one, although supposedly James Wan
Yeah.
of the first movie has not signed on yet. He says basically, hey, I want to see a script. I don't want to just guarantee that I'm going to do this sequel that you locked me down. So James Wan not 100% locked in, even though that first movie's making a buttload of money, which I think is actually for once a smart decision of him going like, hey, listen, I'm interested, but like let me see a script so I know I ain't just directing a clunker here.
But how long do they have Jason Momoa? Is he already locked in? Do we know?
I would imagine actor-wise they must. Yeah,
I don't know if they
why
do
he
it for
wouldn't.
like 3 or 4 films, and he's already been.
I
in,
don't know
technically,
number.
he's been in 1, 2 at least.
If you count, I mean, Batman v Superman. He's
This
been in
is
3 already.
3. That's what I'm saying. So you got to count
if it's
those.
Like Marvel, maybe they did like 8-picture deal, or who
Yeah,
knows?
because if I was Jason Momoa, I would hold out too. until I saw a script. Or, you know, what are they going to do? They can't recast you now. You made 1 point something billion dollars.
Yeah.
You know, what are they going to do? They can't just take you away.
That'd be smart too. Yeah, but I'm sure actors, even in a weird, not a weird way, but I guess it makes sense. More so than a director or writer, are definitely like they're locked in usually.
They usually try to lock them in.
And then finally, let's end with this. We talked about the first one being a movie that I think we all really enjoy. Coming to America 2. Guys, it's happening.
I'm excited.
And we're actually only about a year away. It's been said that this thing should be out by next year, 2020.
Will Eddie Murphy finally get his funny back?
We'll see, man.
I'm hoping.
What's the last thing he did? Like that Mr. Church movie? Like 2-3 years back, which got pretty bad reviews.
And I did watch it. It was not very bad. It was just not great. You know, and I know
I
that's,
wanted to see because, like, I mean, I guess I fell into the hype because I saw him on like a talk show, and whoever the host was like really like blowing smoke up his butt because he was like, "Oh my God, you're so good in this." I'm thinking Oscar talk, and then the movie came out and it got pretty middling to bad reviews.
Well, people did think about it like that, and they thought it was going to be Oscar worthy, but then they actually saw
Once
it.
came out, and people
Like
saw
everyone
it.
just ran for the
Yeah.
hills, and that's
So
normal.
you know, I feel bad, man, because you know, like we said, I mean, Trading Places. I mean, the first two Beverly Hills Cop.
his
I'll throw in
downfall.
Bowfinger. I even like the first Nutty Professor. Like,
Well, his
can be
downfall.
great.
His downfall really started, I think, at Pluto Nash, and a few others. But you know, you can't continue
what was
to.
it? Pluto Nash. What was the two like?
The Haunted Mansion is another one.
Yeah.
You know, you have a lot of bad hits, you know, misses, and you know, right now he's trying to avoid the Nicolas Cage purgatory of being in every movie that comes down the pike.
I mean, but he's in almost nothing. He's the opposite. Nicolas Cage is doing like still 3 to 4 a year. Wow.
Well, he has
Eddie Murphy.
he has the IRS to fill to
Yeah, I'm guessing
pay
you're
off,
smart
I
with your money
believe.
with that Beverly Hills Cop money, baby.
yeah, and you know.
Who's in IRS? Who's in IRS?
Nicolas Cage. That's why he's always making about 12 movies every month.
I guess I owe a national
does he
treasure.
owe?
He's never paid taxes. I'm surprised he never got in prison. That's how bad he owed him. He had to sell those comic book collections. He had to. I think he even had his pet octopus, if I'm not mistaken. And yes, you know you have filthy money when you when you have a pet.
That sounds like a
octopus.
Superman villain.
Yeah, a pet octopus. But what we're gonna do, we're gonna wrap it up. Next week's show, we're gonna go over our film reviews of Deja Vu. We're gonna review the films, whatever we watch at this point, because we're all in a debate. It's probably gonna be the Battlefield one with Alita, Battlefield. That'll be right. That'll be the
Battle Angel.
Battle Angel. Okay.
Say Battlefield.
I don't
Video
know.
game?
It's just a battle of some sort for me with names. Also, we're actually going to take about a week or so to go over this. So, Ryan, write this down, my friend. We're going to read Thank You next. We're going to review that album. That is Ariana Grande's newest album. You could either read the parental advice. I mean, you listen to the parental advisory side, or you could listen to the cleaner one. I'm going to listen to the one that has explicit language because I'm an adult and I'm allowed
Holy
to.
bleep.
So, but yeah, so she has a lot of songs on.
I love her. Track number 4 is F.U. Pete Davidson.
No, I believe that's Fake Smile.
You ain't so funny on SNL.
No, and Rumors. I like I said, I do want to listen to it. You know, I think number 12 maybe is a foreshadow of something. It says break up with your girlfriend, I'm bored. So I don't know what that means, but I can't wait to listen to it. So we're all going to listen to Ariana Grande. We're going to give it at least a week or so. We're not going to put it on next week's show. We'll probably hold it off to the following week so we can all get a good listen and listen to it more than twice, and write down the great songs that we love during it.
I was listening to some songs by her earlier.
Yeah, you know,
on YouTube. It was a duet, I think.
Yeah, I haven't.
She's so pretty.
I have not.
She's okay.
I have not seen.
Too skinny.
I didn't know who she was when I forever.
She was on
And-
Scream Queens.
I've never seen it, and I've never seen another show with her. I guess she was a Nickelodeon or something, or maybe a Disney. I'm not sure which one.
Nickelodeon.
But
Nickelodeon, that girl that talked funny.
Which was that one? iCarly. Or?
Victorious?
I don't know.
I don't know. Was she the
Not
one? Was
iCarly.
that the one with the Britney Spears sister?
Maybe.
Maybe, I don't
She
remember.
She was just, she had
Unglorious,
a
Unfabulous?
smaller role in the background, but then every time she came, she had this goofy,
Yeah, but I don't know.
Oh,
made her fun.
I vaguely remember.
But I like I said, I don't know. I've never heard of her until I was reading the news one day and somebody said, "Hey, she's dating Pete Davidson." I'm like, "Who is she?" And then I'm like, I don't really care about Pete Davidson anyway. So it kind of like, but then people said you should listen to her music because it's all of a sudden hitting raw nerves. And I'm like, okay, let's listen to it. I haven't listened to it yet. Can't wait to listen and get more in depth. Better than our Murmurations one, but but we'll get better as the shows go on. So number 5, come back to us. My name is Dutch McAllister.
This has been Jordan Pierce Owens, JPO, coming in from the booth, and I love you more than you'll ever know.
And we also got your
RD
name.
Bizzle.
There we go.
The show about show Televizzle live in the studio.
Absolutely. So join us next week. And remember, listen, like, and subscribe.